Welcome to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Robin Johnson, and I can't wait to chat with you about one of the most exciting topics ever. Kitchen design, right? I mean, who doesn't dream of remodeling their kitchen? Friends, if you're looking to up-level the most important room in your home, I am so glad you're here. As an award-winning designer of over 20 years, kitchens are my absolute favorite room in the house. Join me to discover the latest design trends, color palettes, and what you should know when it comes to choosing a layout, cabinetry, appliances, and so much more. With hundreds of decisions to be made and thousands of dollars on the line, you won't want to miss an episode. Let's get started. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Robin, your kitchen design obsessed friend, and today I've got a fun, nostalgic, and surprisingly timely topic for you, which is the return of the kitchen keeping room. Yes, it's back, and it might just be your new favorite spot in the house. So, what is a keeping room? Well, the other day I was reading an article in Better Homes and Gardens, and it was talking about how keeping rooms are really making a comeback. And if you've never heard of a keeping room, well, don't feel bad. It's one of those charming, old-fashioned terms from a long time ago, long before open concept kitchens and giant kitchen islands. A keeping room is basically a cozy little sitting area located right off the kitchen. It's a place where family and friends can gather while you're cooking, prepping, or cleaning up. Think of it like a casual family room, but it's part of or connected to your kitchen. I love them, and I think we need more spaces like this. So here's a fun fact in case you're wondering where the term came from, because the origin story is kind of sweet. Keeping rooms date back to the late 1700s and early 1800s when the fireplace was located in the kitchen, since that was the main heat source for the entire house. Family members would gather there to stay warm while meals were being prepared, and that's how the name keeping room came to be. It was literally the room where people kept themselves warm. As homes evolved and central heating was introduced, these rooms basically disappeared. So, why now? Why is the keeping room making a comeback? Well, I think there's four good reasons, in my opinion. First of all, I think that we are really craving connection in a world where everyone's face is glued to a screen and families, don't have as much luxury time together. Families are intentionally creating spaces where they can spend time together and be unplugged and actually talk to each other. The keeping room is perfect for that. It's close to the kitchen where everything happens, but it's cozy enough to feel like a mini retreat. Secondly, the kitchen really is the new living room, and I've said it a million times, but it's true. The kitchen isn't just for cooking anymore. It's where we work, help with homework, catch up on shows, sip wine, host Zoom calls, and live our life. So, having an adjacent spot to relax right there makes total sense. Third of all, open concept layouts are still popular, but not everyone loves them. And here's the thing, while open concept kitchens are still hugely in demand, not everyone loves the idea of the entire house being one big room. A keeping room lets you have a connected, open feel without having the kitchen chaos on display all the time. And fourthly, formal dining rooms, well, they're out. Most new home plans today ditch the formal dining room in favor of multi-use casual spaces. People want every square foot of their home to be livable and practical, and a keeping room checks both of those boxes. So, what I'm loving today is that people are really reinterpreting keeping rooms for a modern life. They're being used as like a morning coffee lounge area, a reading nook, could be a homework station. Your pets will love it, it will be their favorite hangout spot. It's a great conversation corner and get together with friends and family. And it can also be used as even a little yoga or meditation area. It's really about creating a cozy, comfortable space connected to the kitchen where life can happen without the formality of a traditional living room. So let's talk about how to design one. So the size and layout, it doesn't have to be huge. A keeping room usually seats 2 to 4 people, so it's pretty small. Picture a pair of comfy chairs with an ottoman or a small love seat with lots of pillows. It's not the place for a sectional or a giant TV. It's way more intimate. To help define the space, even in an open concept kitchen, you can carve out a intentional area by adding a rug to anchor the space. You can position a console table or open shelving as a divider. You can hang statement lighting or wall sconces to visually separate the area. And also, you really want to layer the textures and materials in this space to make it feel warm and inviting. Think about using soft knits, bouclés, linens, warm woods, woven rattan products, and cozy throws. This is where you get to have fun with pattern and texture. A solid sofa, patterned pillows, a Keelam rug, maybe even some fun wallpaper on one wall. And then also, you want it to be part of the kitchen. You want it because it is, it's part of the same room. So you really need to have the same flooring as your kitchen for a cohesive space. You can repeat colors and materials from your kitchen to help pull it together. Some of the wood tones, metals, or woven accents, so it all feels connected. You can also throw in some practical comforts like baskets to hold throws, a small side table for your coffee cup or glass of wine, and maybe some built-in shelves for books and plants. Also, dimmable lighting is a must for morning, early morning, and evening coziness. And a pro tip, if you can add a fireplace, even an electric one, it will add instant warmth visually and literally. I actually worked on a kitchen project last year for a sweet family with 2 kids and a golden retriever. We designed a little sitting nook right off the kitchen with 2 swivel chairs, an ottoman, and a little coffee table in lieu of a breakfast table because the client preferred to use her island for eating. Now the kids do their homework while mom makes dinner, and she enjoys her morning cup of coffee surrounded by beautiful bay windows. It has become everyone's favorite spot. Let me tell you, I've been seeing more and more homes at market and in show houses with these cozy kitchen adjacent lounges. It's definitely a trend worth jumping on. So let's talk about the pros and cons of having a keeping room. Well, the pros, it's cozy, comfortable space for family connection. It adds charm and warmth to your kitchen, and it can be styled casually or elegantly. It offers a screen-free, unplugged zone if you choose, and it can be a practical alternative to a formal living room. The cons, well, it does take up some square footage, so you will need to plan well. It can become a clutter magnet without intentional styling, and it may overlap with your family room space if you have an open concept kitchen. But in my opinion, the pros win out almost every time. So here's a few modern alternatives and creative ideas. If you don't have a ton of space, no worries. You can still capture the vibe of a keeping room by adding a couple of comfy chairs near a kitchen window. You can use a banquette, maybe that's part of your breakfast area, as a lounge area by adding a lot of extra pillows and book storage underneath. You can add lighting via lamps or wall sconces to help create a separate zone. And you can add a rug to define the space also separate from the kitchen. It's really about creating a comfy, casual spot connected to the kitchen that doesn't have to be expensive. So here's some furniture thoughts and recommendations. When shopping for keeping room furniture, it really depends on the context. Think about what your furniture is going to be sitting against. What is the backdrop and how tall are your ceilings? For example, is there a fireplace there that's just begging for a pair of club wing chairs to frame it? Or maybe you've got a set of French doors that are leading out to a patio. In that case, I'd recommend a lower back sofa or a pair of lower swivel chairs so that you're not blocking the view and natural light. Maybe it's a pair of worn leather club chairs. The options are really endless. Consider whether you want the space to feel open and airy or a little more enclosed and cozy. The shape, size, and height of your furniture will totally change the vibe of the room. It's all about working with the room's architecture and sight lines to create a space that feels both intentional and inviting. Another good point to consider is you probably want to use stain repellent fabrics and rugs in this area of your home because food and drinks will likely find their way here. And if you have kids and pets, it really is a no-brainer. So think about leather or stain repellent fabrics for furniture. Okay, a couple of questions that I have been asked are, is the keeping room really just a family room? Great question. It's similar, but smaller, cozier, and directly connected to the kitchen. It's not where you're going to gather to watch a movie with the whole family. It's more for conversation, reading, or hanging out while you cook. Can I add a keeping room to an open concept floor plan? Absolutely. It's all about furniture placement, lighting, and rugs. You can carve out a keeping room vibe even in a big open space. Do I need a fireplace? Not at all. It really is a bonus. A cozy rug, comfy chairs, good lighting, and a couple of throw blankets can give you that keeping room feeling without a fireplace. What if I have a doorway that leads outside? Well, it will depend on how much room you have and what furniture pieces that you can fit into the space. You can try floating furniture so that you will still have a pathway leading outside. You don't want to block a lane of traffic, but I think that if you can figure out, maybe you have two chairs on one side and a sofa on the other so that you can walk between everything. You just have to kind of lay it out to make sure that you have enough room. But if you do have French doors, that's a wonderful way to have a lot of natural light, so enjoy that. And you could even consider adding curtains to help soften the space. All right, friends, if you've been thinking that your kitchen needs a little more heart, a keeping room might be just what you're looking for. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be expensive, and it definitely doesn't have to be formal. Start with a couple of cozy chairs, a rug, a small table, and a lamp. Keep your color palette connected to your kitchen, mix up those textures, and make it a place where people naturally want to gather. And in this week's email, I'll be sending out some gorgeous keeping room inspiration photos, so make sure that you're on my email list. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and tune in next week because we've got more goodness coming your way. Until then, go make your home a little cozier. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. If you want to continue the conversation or share your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. Head over to my Instagram page at Robin Johnson Interiors and send me a DM. If you're curious how to get started on your own remodeling journey, well, I have a free resource for you that you can download called the Kitchen Remodel Starter Kit in the show notes below, or you can head to my website and grab it there on the front page. Friends, if you enjoyed today's podcast and you can't wait to hear more, please leave a raving review to help others find me. And if you didn't, well, don't worry about it. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back soon for more kitchen design conversations.